actual practice, there is no existence of ideal transformer. That means you have to introduce the resistance of winding primary and secondary. Flux does not confined in the core. That means leakage flux in primary and secondary, and core loss not negligible. Again, in actual practice, magnetization curve not linear. So due to this, higher order of harmonics generated. As in phasor diagram, we draw all the quantity are in same frequency. Remember that in phasor diagram, all the quantity draw in same frequency. So higher order harmonics cannot be presented in phasor diagram. That's why we taking the transformer core magnetization curve is linear, but in actual practice it is not linear. Here I show a simple transformer diagram. When switch S is closed, the secondary current I2 flow. We are assuming that this I2 current lags the terminal voltage at an angle theta. Here I draw a phasor diagram of a transformer at lagging power factor. That means we are connecting here a inductive load. Taking phi is a reference. Okay. As you know, U1 equals to N1 phi m omega sin omega t minus pi by 2, and E2 equals to N2 phi m omega sin omega t minus pi by 2. So E1 and E2 must lag from phi at an angle 90 degree. Okay, so these are your E1 and E2, that is lag from phi at an angle 90 degree. Now, for the simplicity of calculation, we are taking E1 in either side, that is minus of E1, that should be equal to V1 prime. Due to the hysteresis, the exciting current must lead the flux at an angle, that is the hysteretic angle, this is your exciting current, and flux, from flux it lead at an angle alpha, that is hysteretic angle. So this current have two component. One is the magnetizing component, it is in phase with flux, and another is the core component, it is in phase with V1 dash. Now compensating MMF is equal to the secondary MMF, that is I1 dash N1 equal to I2 N2. Okay, that is your F2 secondary side MMF. Okay, so in primary side, suppose this one is your I1 dash, okay, and combine of I1 dash and IE gives the total primary current, that is I1. Okay, it is I1. So I1 is nothing but I1 dash plus IE. Okay, now secondary current is just the phase opposition of I1 dash. Okay, so that is your I2. Okay, and F2 in phase with I2. Now the primary resistive drop, that is I1 R1, is in parallel with I1. Taking this one is the I1 R1, and inductive drop, that is 90 degree apart from this, that is J I1 X1. So V1 dash I1 R1 plus J I1 X1 gives the source voltage, that is V1. Okay, so this is the source voltage V1. Now as we assume that the current I2 lags V2 at an angle theta 2, so current I2 suppose lags V2 at an angle, this angle is theta 2, at an angle theta 2. Okay, similarly the secondary side have the resistive drop, that is I2 R2 in parallel with I2. Okay, so this is I2 R2, and apart from 90 degree J I2 X2, that is the inductive drop. Okay, so this should be in E1 plus E2. Okay, this should be E1 plus E2. Now very simply I discuss again, that is flux is taken here as a reference, and we know this equation, so that the E1 and E2 lag from phi at an angle 90 degree, taking hysteretic angle. So IE lead phi at an angle alpha. IE have two component, one magnetizing component in phase with phi and core component in phase with V1 dash. Okay, now compensating current is MMF is equal to the secondary MMF. Both are in phase opposition, so taking I1 dash here and diametrically opposite I2 taken here. Okay, I1 dash and IE both phasor sum give the total primary current I1, and I1 R1 taking parallel with the I1, and from 90 degree, that is imaginary axis, that is the J I1 X1. So V1 dash I1 R1 and J I1 X1, this three phases sum gives the source voltage V1. Now if I take I2 lags V2 at an angle theta 2. Okay. Now secondary winding have the resistive drop I2 R2. Similarly, the winding have reactive drop, that is Ji2 X2. So phasor sum of V2 plus I2 R2 plus Ji2 X2 gives the induced EMF E2. So this is the phasor diagram of the transformer at lagging load condition or inductive load. From this phasor diagram, we write that E2 equals to V2 plus I2 R2 plus JX2, that is V2 plus I2 Z2. Similarly, the source voltage V1 equal to V1 dash plus I1 R1 plus JX1 equal to V1 dash plus I1 Z1. Here Z1 and Z2 is the leakage impedance of primary and secondary winding. Now the leakage flux in secondary in phase with the secondary current, that is taken as phi L2. This leakage flux create a secondary induced leakage voltage drop, that is 90 degree apart from phi L2. This one is your EX2, due to the leakage flux, that is the 90 degree apart from phi L2. So this is the total phasor diagram of a transformer at lagging load condition. Now in leading load condition, this is the phasor diagram at leading load condition. Here again take the flux as reference. Exciting current IE lead the flux at an angle alpha. Okay, as I2 lead the voltage V2, so V2 and it is I2, so lead the voltage at an angle theta 2. Very clear. Now I2 and I1 dash, that is compensating current, okay, diametrically opposite, that is the F1 and in I2 in phase with F2 here. Okay, these are the diametrically opposite, and I1 dash, this compensating current, and plus IE, the phasor sum of I1 dash and IE gives the total primary current, that is I1. Now the resistive drop I1 R1 is in parallel with I1, and now the inductive reactive drop, that is 90 degree apart from it, that is J I1 X1. Phasor sum of V1 dash I1 R1 and J I1 X1 gives the total source voltage V1. Similarly, the secondary winding have the resistive drop I2 R2. It is parallel of I2, so taking parallel here. Now from I2 R2 90 degree apart, that is I2 JX2, and this is E2. Okay, the phasor sum of the V2 plus I2 R2 plus JX2 I2 gives the secondary induced EMF 2. So it is clear that is the leading load power factor, leading load condition phasor diagram at leading